Okay, so Tim, what are your thoughts on this? Because this is not the only treaty that we can talk about between the U.S. and Russia. We also have what many would argue is the most important agreement of the old Cold War. That's the New START that limits long-range nuclear weapons, and that's set to expire in February 2021. Is this all a precedent for that also to fall apart? And again, as Pavel there said, do you think it's also just Russia thinking, listen, NATO is so much stronger, arguably, and is close to its borders, that Russia just isn't really as interested in these treaties anymore?
I think Russia is mostly thinking that NATO is far more irrational, because the real issue here is not who has how many missiles. Because first off, I have to preface this by saying that there's this current trend that weapons are bad. Everyone just thinks it's a weapon, it's bad. Nuclear weapons are powerful, therefore they're super bad, right? But in reality, the fact that nuclear weapons exist and there's been a condition of mutually assured destruction for the entirety of my lifetime has saved me from being drafted to go fight in some sort of apocalyptic war. So in many ways, nuclear weapons aren't such a bad thing, as they allow us to live in a tense but more or less peaceful world compared to the beginning of the 20th century, right? Now, the thing that Russia should be concerned about is we've seen a lot of aggression, bizarreness from Washington in terms of their foreign policy, and one has to be concerned that at some point the bigotry, Russophobia, and stereotypes that they have that Russia is somehow some sort of pathetic country that can't really do anything. When the strategists and the people at the top really actually start to believe that, someone is going to say, hey, let's do the first strike. Now is the time. And that's, I think, what's the real fear from the Russian side.